We're here at CanJam SoCal at, as you can see, Audeze. I just heard your new headphone, the MM-500, and that is really cool.
Cool.
Man, I missed out on a few shows, so this is my first chance to really sit down and have an experience with it. I have to say I'm impressed. I really like the new ergonomics. I know you introduced this design more kind of with the LCD5. Yeah, and now we're kind of seeing it trickle down into this. I'd love to know, where did this headphone kind of come from?
You know, even from the initial days of Audeze, we have been selling to Pro Audio.
Yeah.
But that's more because of people buying them. We didn't really focus on it. We basically introduced it, and it was word of mouth, and musicians and sound engineers started using it. And LCDX was, with some tweaks, it was basically a modified version of LCD3. That's how we started into that market. But as we started growing, we wanted to create products focused just on Pro Audio. And in 2014 or 15, Manny bought one of our headphones. He really liked it, and he called us out of the blue and said, "Hey, I got this headphone, and I'm actually recording. I actually mixed part of one song using the headphones. I would love to come by and visit." So he came by Audeze. We chatted, and we have been sending him headphones for even other headphones. When we designed them, we would send them to Manny to get his feedback.
And circling back, I would also love to know where this design change came from, because this does feel like with this and the LCD5, feels like a departure from your kind of classic style.
Yeah, so basically the original headphone design was more or less designed to put the head drivers inside some form factor. There was not, it was, we had no industrial designer for the first phase of Audeze. But then when we did the LCD5 and MM-500, we wanted to actually have a properly industrial design.
Okay.
And also one of the goals was to reduce the weight of the headphones. So in LCD5, for example, and even this, almost every single part is magnesium.
Right.
Right. So it's primarily to reduce weight.
It is much lighter than my LCD2s.
Yeah, it is, right. In a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, we, when talking to Manny, we said, why don't we just start working with you on creating a pro line of headphones separately? So that's how this came about. And earlier this year, probably end of last year, when we had the finished prototypes, I had given several units to Manny, and he said before we launch it, I actually want to use this on at least a few albums I'm mixing, as a primary tool, not as to QC or something, but as a primary tool. And at the time he was mixing, and this is public information because he talks about it. He was working on the new Kendrick Lamar's album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Which is funny, that's what I just listened to on these.
Yeah, so he actually used this as a primary mixing tool on that album.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so he actually put it through the paces and used it, and then we launched it a couple of months ago.
Technology-wise, is there anything like special going on with this one, or is it just mostly just like a tuning change from like what you would expect from like the LCDX or the other things that are like your normal Pro models? I know it has the new industrial design and all that, but is this kind of featuring like technology that's closer to that of the LCD5s or your new lineups?
No, this is more, I think from a tuning perspective, this is more closer to LCD5 than LCDX, more neutral as well. And I think even compared to LCD5, it's probably a little bit more neutral.
Very cool. Another thing I wanted to talk about, actually, since I haven't had a chance to see it for a while, is the carbon.
Yeah.
That is super cool. I don't think anybody actually expected that. It just came out of nowhere. You guys launched an eStat, and the original application I saw was for medical use. And I saw back there you guys actually have the
MRI version.
Yeah, the MRI version of it out. So you guys were working on that, and then did it one day just occur like, hey, we should also make this into a product that we sell?
Our goal was to actually make planar diaphragms, right? And planar diaphragms, you have a conductive metal, typically aluminum or copper, whatever we put, and then we etch it. Our goal has been, even from the beginning, was to see how do we make this faster, easier, the whole process of making it. What happened was we were working with carbon nanotubes and other material, but we couldn't control the dispersion of them because the film is cast as first it's in a liquid stage, and then it dries and becomes film. So we were trying to see how to make this conductive. But then we made this film that was conductive because we added carbon nanotubes in the liquid stage, and the film itself became inherently conductive. So we were playing with it, didn't really know how to use it for anything. And then by chance I met this professor from UCLA, Professor Cohen, and he runs the neuroimaging lab at UCLA. And they were looking for somebody to help make a headphone with noise cancellation for MRI applications. It's for two reasons. One is to use for patient comfort, but the second application is actually for research purpose, because they want to give auditory signals to people inside MRI machines to activate certain areas of the brain. So that both of those things. So we made these prototype headphones. Danville Signal out of Montana is working on the noise cancellation portion of it. So, but it needed very high SPLs. So we made a version with 800 volts bias voltage for them, and that's what you see there. That's the MRI version. And it has optical cables, MEMS microphones, everything for noise cancellation.
Very
That is a completely different one. But the transducer itself, once we made it, we were like, let's make an audiophile version as well.
Right, might as well.
No, it's because it's a very interesting headphone. It sounds amazing. That's how we ended up with the carbon.
Very cool. I appreciate that. Now, this is a question that's sort of just like a bit more of a personal one. You've had Audeze going for a while. You've made a lot of headphones. You have a personal favorite, one that you use all the time?
It changes all the time. The newer headphones we work is always the favorite because we're trying new things on it. Of late, I've been using more and more of carbon.
Carbon? Yeah.
We have.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. It's we are spoiled, right? We have a lot of headphones.
Right.
We have a lot of our headphones. We have a lot of other people's headphones. Some MEMS transducers. We get them before they release. So we play with them and we give them feedback. So we actually have a lot of different things that we work with in the lab. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, and I actually saw you. You're supplying headphones or headbands for a small startup too.
Yeah.
So kind of like helping the little guys out.
Yeah. So we have done this in the past as well. We had Kavi came to us once with a Jacqueline float, and he wanted us to convert his electrostatic headphones to something usable. So we actually put planar drivers on it for him. Because we are local and we are accessible.
Yeah.
And we make transducers and other things. So other companies come to us. One of the things that we did a few years ago was for Valve. They came to us when they were designing the Index headset.
And
they wanted us to make a headphone that does not have any earpads. A lot of research projects we do.
Yeah.
Some of them become headphones, some of them do not.
So there could be things floating around out there that I have no idea, but it's you guys are putting the work behind part of it.
Yeah. We have shown, even at CanGem, sometimes we have shown things that never made it into a product.
It's fun to experiment. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you showing me the MM-500. I enjoyed listening to it, and I hope to see you at the next one.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.